take off towards a dream.
One of the first things that made me fall in love with Kamen Rider is the abundance of music, specifically in their opening themes. Let me start out by saying that I personally don't think there are outright any bad songs. I think all these themes are great, every single one, but I prefer some over others. As for the list, this might be disappointing to a lot of you, but I'm only listing from Toei's cutoff point with the Heisei era. So no Black RX, no Showa, and as much as it pains me, no Reiwa, which means no Realize from 01. And as always, your opinions matter more than mine, so please keep it civil while typing your own in the comments below. With all that being said, let's start with...
Are you ready?
20.
Whoa, Fourze this low? I did say it was my opinion after all, and again, even the 20th spot doesn't mean it's a bad song. If anything, it would show how much I care more about the actual show than its theme. The high energy of high school life suits the song well, and the lyrics are kinda dorky, but in a good way. Burger in one hand, feeling hungry every day. Countdown to the start of the journey, unstopping, growing, thrilling school days. That's very feel good and gets me ready for more Fourze. You see this part where Gentaro grabs the switch and it transitions to the logo? I love that part, and the visuals aren't too bad either. It's the high school crew having fun along with images of space. Although that's pretty much all I can say. It's still a good song.
Are you ready?
19.
As if my opinions couldn't get bad enough, I like the chorus, kinda. And seeing original footage of all the writers on screen with Decade is cool. And I like talking about cinematography, so we got cameras and film rolls. Okay, so this is supposed to be the song that puts us through an adventure, and well, at least I'd rather listen to this over the previous one. Gact alone should put this theme higher, right? Moving on.
Are you ready?
18.
Clocking up at number 18 is Next Level. I wasn't really a fan of this at first, but it grew on me. It feels fast as it should since it's for Kabuto, and the vocals are pretty much what carry the theme. Although if there's anything negative, it might be the instruments, something just doesn't feel right. The synths are fine, but maybe the guitar is too much, I don't know. At the very least, I can listen to Next Level more than before, so let's cast off for the next entry.
Are you ready?
17.
I know you guys don't want me to apologize for my opinions, but this one is so well loved and a huge fan favorite, although it's pretty low on my list. I've liked Daichi Miura's music even before Excite. You is one of my favorites by him, but I don't know. Excite just doesn't grab me. I emphasize that it's not a bad song, none of these are, this is just my opinion. As for the music itself, Daichi Miura still has those great vocals and self-choreographed dance moves, along with a more modern sound for Rider. The energy is also pretty great, just listen to the crowd singing to the chorus. That's amazing. You know what Excite needs? A hard rock version by Rider Chips, which I love more than the original. I think one thing we can all agree on is how fantastic the opening visuals are. It's my personal favorite in all of Heisei, and okay, we should really move on. But I'll say now that I'll always believe.
Are you ready?
16.
Now for some consistent positivity. I love that opening synth riff and the vocals are fantastic, which they should be as Alive Alive is performed by Rika Matsumoto, a former member of one of my personal favorite bands, Jam Project. Who knew Ash Ketchum was so talented? Honestly, she alone carries the whole song for me. But that doesn't mean the instrumentals are bad either. There are a couple of layers within the song that adds just a little bit more on top of what you mainly hear, which explodes into this chorus of emotion with lyrics talking about breaking through the mirror onto the path you've chosen. So what path have you chosen? Let's fight to survive.
Are you ready?
15.
Have I ever mentioned how much I like modern electronics and music? Whether it's EDM or house rock, there's just something about a well-produced song that gets bonus points for me. Be the One is what I expected a more modern Rider theme to be, and it still gives me that hype feeling I had even when I watched older seasons. You've probably heard this before, but while I think Be the One is an awesome song, I just don't think it's the best theme for Kamen Rider. Then why is it ranked past other greats like Journey Through the Decade? Cause I love the music that much. Beverly is a fantastic singer and the instrumentals are amazing. Plus there's an official English version which is alright. This is a song I want to listen to more than the previous ones, even when I'm not in a Kamen Rider mood. Be the One is the one for me.
Are you ready?
14.
Oh, this is a tough one. I think Blade Brave and Elements are both great songs that fit this season perfectly. Blade Brave has the better vocals, lyrics, and visuals, but I've been ranking these with how much more I'd listen to this theme than the previous entry, and I'd rather hear Elements. It might actually be my bias towards the band Rider Chips, since I can listen to Ricky sing forever. At around the halfway point, Blade's theme changed to Elements, and I think it was for the better. Elements has that punch from the start, and the shift to hard rock gave a different feel from Blade's first half. Of course, I do gotta mention this English Blade Brave cover by Yourfavoritejune, which is probably one of the best English Rider covers I've heard.
Prophecies lying, the terror spread. What is the truth? What is left unsaid?
Anyway, they're both great songs, and you could even substitute Blade Brave here, but I'm giving the slight edge to Elements.
Are you ready?
13.
In a reverse of other themes on this list, I fell in love with Just Live More. Then those feelings slowly fell to, yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's still higher than most, so that's saying something. That ominous opening going into a darker verse, asking what choices you're going to make in this fight. Then a hopeful chorus goes into never giving up. Don't say no, just live more. The visuals are perfect with the lyrics, which I won't go into for spoiler reasons, but it really hit me seeing symbolism of the characters' paths. Oh yeah, and the logo breakaway with the many weapons revealing it is still awesome to this day. Just Live More is still amazing even years later. How will you fight for the golden fruit?
Are you ready?
12.
And now we have the first opening of the Heisei era, Kamen Rider Kouga from Kamen Rider Kouga. A revival of the series needs a banger, and this kinda holds up to modern standards. What I mean is how empowering the music is, bringing that sense of justice with some dark undertones, truly giving us the perfect getaway into the show. Oh, fun fact, many thought that Be the One was the first to have an official English opening, but Kouga had one, even with the original singer, Masayuki Tanaka. No fear, no pain. Kouga will surpass them.
Are you ready?
11.
Kagayaki is Japanese for radiance, which is what Hibiki's first opening brings. There's a certain radiance with an instrumental opening that can't be heard with lyrics. As an opening, Kagayaki gives me one of the most unique feelings out of any song from Heisei, until a later entry, and I can't exactly put my finger on why. Hopefulness, passion, maybe even a bit of sadness. After watching Hibiki, I truly felt Kagayaki speak to me in a way other themes haven't. Ironic as there aren't any lyrics. One of my favorite parts of the opening is how it changes throughout the first half of Hibiki, depending on the arc. For example, when Ibuki is introduced, the theme adds a trumpet, and when Todoroki is the focus, there's a layer for an electric guitar. It just gets better and better the more I listen. But what about the second opening? It's a thing. Before we get to my top 10, I asked you guys on Twitter about your favorite Kamen Rider themes, and here's what some of you had to say. Slim Pony Ranger says, Surprise Drive is fast and energetic, which perfectly fits the season it's associated with. The opening guitars and drums quickly catches your attention, letting you know it's about to be hype. Also, it's sung by Eternal himself, so how could you go wrong? SDH Shadow says, Kamen Rider Kouga gives off this feeling of mysticism and mystery. It's a song that sounds like something new is about to begin, and I think it fits the show perfectly in every way. To the story, down to how it's the first Heisei show. Addo and Kusik says, anything goes from O's. Great lyrics, great vocals, great instruments, really upbeat, but also has its slow parts which really add to the song. Overall, a really good representation of O's, using all three parts to become something stronger. At the High C says, this will shock nobody, but Double's WX is rad as hell. The noir jazz leading in, female and male vocal handoff complementing everything in twos, fits both the detective and fun atmosphere of the show. At Tsukoshi Kaze says, every opening fits their respective shows pretty well, but if I could only choose one, I'd have to go with Anything Goes from O's. The song has so much energy about it that doesn't let up. The combination of instruments give it a nice jungle beat, and I love the vocals. I also like the little hearts you put there that symbolize O's itself, that's really cute. Bill Wittick 13 says, I love Just Live More because of the way it starts with Got It Move, builds up to the rock part, and the whoa, don't say no, just live more, don't say no, just live more is always satisfying to hear, and the filmography in the opening is great. Mr. Rider 1 says, I was gonna choose Justifies, but WX is by far my favorite. The whole theme just smoothly rolls off the start and goes into the most catchy beat you can ever listen to while pretending to be a hard-boiled detective. Ad Hoc Tana says, Break the Chain, Kiba's OP. It sums up the vampire motif of the show, and themes of stepping out into the world regardless of how afraid you are quite well. Also, the keyboard, guitar, and violin give off a gothic vibe to the song and are generally kick butt. At Arbomera says, Ozes, the rap-like segment at the start and in between really stand out to me due to not being used in other openings. Also, the visuals, very symbolic and appealing. And finally, the trumpets. Man, the trumpets beats and overall tune were really nice. At Bronytran says, Be the One. Not only is it really catchy, but it also represents the show perfectly. It only gets better with the official English version. At Asterisk Off says, Journey Through the Decade is my favorite. Most of the other openings have this very cool or triumphant tone to them, whereas Decades kind of feels more sad and melancholic. It still pumps you up for the show, but in a more unique way that fits the series really well. At ScreeTut2000 says, IDK if it's my favorite, but I sing Surprise Drive louder than any other song that's ever existed and when I'm going 90 on the highway. For legal reasons, I don't condone driving 90 on the highway, please be safe. At Dragon Shrine says, Excite is a headbanger. Hey, wait a minute.
I headbang touch.
At Sovani says, Wizard. Bop. What the? Okay, that was more than a few, but anyway, if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, then please do so at Marcosatsu. Sometimes I'll ask you guys about your opinions and you might even show up in one of these videos. Now let's get back to it.
Are you ready?
10,
My gosh. I was speechless the first time I heard Armor Zone, since I instantly fell in love and kept playing it on repeat. This is the darker sound I've been expecting and it's absolute perfection. The guitar kills it more than the Amazons do and the vocals are insane. Not only that, but the placement of the music in the show was just... I couldn't wait to see more. Can you tell that I just love Armor Zone to death? Oh well, how about Die Set Down, the theme for Amazon Season 2? Armor Zone's placement was perfect, but once you hear that opening to Die Set Down, you just knew something was coming. Every compliment I gave to Season 1's theme gets multiplied by 10 when it comes to Die Set Down. The chorus is fantastic, and the tone of the bridge is something I didn't know I wanted. Armor Zone and Die Set Down have English themes too, by the way. Well... This is the high quality I expected from Amazon's. The previous two themes are already great, so mix them up, add some new elements, a couple callbacks, and we get one of my favorite themes ever. I just can't explain how perfect this is. And I won't, because Eat Kill All is an ending theme, so this spot is gonna go to Die Set Down. Hashtag sorry not sorry.
Are you ready?
9,
That trumpet and bass opening is perfection, along with our two vocalists. As we're nearing the top of this list, the songs just get closer and closer to perfect as they can, becoming more and more what I like to listen to regularly. Is it weird to say that WX is a fusion of noir and rock? Well, of course, since Double is about detectives, and the opening going into rock gives a nice familiarity as we get into Heisei Phase 2, while transitioning into something new. The more I listen, the more complex I realize the music is. There are a couple of guitar tracks I didn't even notice until writing this script. Above all, the song is just a lot of fun. This might be one of the few themes I never skipped when watching a Rider season. Plus, it gives me a bit of nostalgia since Double was the first series I watched week to week.
Are you ready?
8,
That intro gets me every time, just like in the previous entry. Who knew ska would fit Kamen Rider so well? Heisei Phase 2 allowed for some experimentation while keeping things familiar, so having a different genre for an opening adds a couple bonus points for me. You guys know how I just mentioned that WX was fun? Well, Anything Goes is fun times 100. The energy from the opening to even the bridge doesn't let up, and the chorus makes any fight scene that much better, especially since O's has a ska-inspired soundtrack anyway. Anything Goes' guitar solo is also one of my favorites from out of all the Rider themes. Man, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but Anything Goes really is just a lot of fun. Remember to count the medals 1, 2, and 3.
Are you ready?
7,
The 20th anniversary of Heisei Rider and near 50th anniversary of Kamen Rider as a whole deserves to have a big celebration. From that short piano riff in the intro to the electronic sounds and to one of the most explosive choruses in Heisei. Here comes Over Quarter at number 7. This is another one I wasn't really into at first, but that chorus is just the cherry on top of this multi-layered cake. Behind the scenes fun fact, I was having such a tough time deciding where to put Over Quarter that it kept getting higher and higher on my list. I just kept falling more in love with it. I can't even begin to imagine how many tracks there are that puts all this together, and it still comes out sounding amazing. Not to mention the visuals, which are right next to X8 as one of the most beautiful opening visuals we have. All these riders, the timing with the music, the sheer eye candy and tributes to past seasons makes Over Quarter one of my most favorite Rider themes ever. And we're not even at the top 3. Let's all rejoice for our king, Geo.
Are you ready?
6,
I'd like to apologize for how often my opinions change over time. I'd also like to apologize for apologizing, but I digress. Yes, Justifies is as amazing as everyone says it is. I used to just like the opening guitar riff, but those vocals, they're not as big as other songs, and they don't have to be to sound this good. Many would say Fies is the closest to a J-drama feel, and I feel like that opening has the right tone to set the scenes. I stated earlier that one of the ways I'm ranking these is by how much more I'd listen to certain placements over others, and I can't tell you guys how many times I skipped to Justifies on my playlist. This is the theme that grew on me the most, and I loved every second of it.
Are you ready?
5,
Now we've reached the top 5, where I consider some of these my favorite songs of all time. I should have said top 5s. From the moment I heard that guitar riff, I just knew Surprise Drive would be special to me, along with the season itself. Mitsuda Matsuoka's vocals are exquisite, and I love the other songs he sings as well. However, I feel like the guitar track really carries this theme for me. The energy from the guitar alone makes me want to burst into flames. Other instruments should have the spotlight too, since every piece is important, such as that pulsing bass and that pounding drum. Oh, I gotta plug Remy Tyndle's English cover here too. I still think it's great. Plus, this is another fun song, as I'm sure most of us sing to the chorus when we can. If it's easier to talk about something more bad than good, then I'll keep this simple. Surprise Drive is near perfection. All we need is drive.
Are you ready?
4,
This might surprise a lot of you, but Kamen Rider Agito from Kamen Rider Agito is a masterpiece of a song. In fact, I think these final 4 are masterpieces. What is it about Agito's theme that I love? Is it the mystical sound, the soothing intro with the fantastic build-up? Maybe it's the powerful vocals that remind me of the Showa era. Or possibly it's the nonsensical lyrics that are begging to be overanalyzed. There's a certain simplicity that I feel isn't heard as often from modern themes, and that's definitely not a bad thing. I just enjoy listening to something so mesmerizing. Then the remix 24.7 version of the opening adds a little bit more. The extended opening has a strange chorus, plus an electric guitar and more eccentric drums. And I shouldn't forget about the visuals. I don't know, but it looks cool. Mixed feelings about the show or not, Agito's theme will always have a special place to me.
Are you ready?
3,
Before we begin, please keep in mind that my number 2 and 3 spots can be interchanged. They're just that good. My love for Life is Showtime has never stopped. It has always been top 3 material to me, and I don't think that'll ever change, even if I included some of my favorite songs outside of Rider. It starts out blasting, energy still flowing, and then tops off with that chorus, which is the near pinnacle of fun in a Rider song, as we all sing 3, 2, 1, Showtime. Now here's where the drums get to shine just as much as guitar and vocals before it. Not everything has to be complex, and the drums have the perfect balance of skill and style with its consistent beat. One of my favorite things about this song is that it's sung by Ryun Sho from Golden Bomber, who performed the Tokusatsu Gagaga theme. It's no wonder I love both of these so much. There's a lot to love about Wizard, and his theme is certainly one of the best parts. Life truly is Showtime.
Are you ready?
2,
You guys knew this was coming. I just can't shut up about how good We Think Therefore We Are is. For one, the band Kishidan are known for having a song in Naruto, and their hit single One Night Carnival is one of my personal favorites. And then they played a theme for Kamen Rider. As weird as it sounds, it feels good coming back to what sounds like a simple rock song from Heisei 1, but now more lighthearted. If there was one song to describe Kamen Rider to me, it would be this. The raw power of every instrument, especially bass, comes together to create this masterpiece, along with beautiful visuals. There is so much emotion put into every note, I won't ever get enough of this in Life is Showtime. They're truly gorgeous songs, and masterpieces that I can listen to forever. And now for some honorable mentions. Shinobi. Everyone was super hyped about Shinobi's theme. It's catchy, the instruments are amazing, and it's the perfect theme for a ninja Kamen Rider. I think it's okay. Rider Time Ryuki. Yep. Before we continue, I'd like to state that one of my goals is to become a better editor, especially with Adobe Premiere. I've been asked before how I do it, and while it's a bit of a daunting task, I got something just for you. I'm sure you've heard of the sponsor for this video, Skillshare. But let me tell you that I was very excited to work with them, as I've been using their services even before they offered the sponsorship, so it's their service I personally stand by. The course I've been using currently is the one for Adobe Premiere by Jordy Vanderput. I used to edit with Sony Vegas, so I was a bit overwhelmed at first. However, Skillshare made learning easy and I was able to pick it up quickly. Now I want to offer you a chance to learn, especially because it's very affordable, as an annual subscription is only $10 a month. Click the link in the description to get 2 free months of premium membership and explore your creativity.
Hey Gokai, there's someone on the line for you!
Who is it, and why are you still here?
Marcos, sir!
Marcos. Now there's a name I haven't heard of in a while.
He wants you to do one of those honorable mention things.
Dear God.
Gokai? Hello? Gokai? Wake up! Wake up! Hey! Wake up!
Kamen Rider Kiba may have been hit or miss, but god damn did its theme song kick ass. From the mysterious sounding opening notes to that epic guitar solo, Kiba's opening is just dripping with punk rock aesthetics. And then there's the full version, which includes a violin solo of all things, which sounds like something straight out of Castlevania. Though in my mind, the theme seems more at home with Disney's Gargoyles.
Is that a shameless self-promotion?
Yes, it is, thorn in my backside. Now let me finish. Break the Chain is underrated, satisfying as hell, and one of my favorite Kamen Rider themes in general. What can I say? I'm a sucker for it. A bloodsucker. Do vampires suck blood? I forgot.
Are you ready?
1.
時の列車伝来の次の駅は過去か未来か
Every positive thing I've mentioned has reached its peak with Denno's climax jump. It's fun, adventurous, hopeful, and it truly means a lot to me. Denno is one of those seasons I'm closest with, so I've never skipped the opening as it prepared me for the next adventure. Climax Jump has the perfect mixture of everything I love about the Heisei era, plus what I love about its music. I'll never be able to state just how great this is with words. It's like everything surrounding Climax Jump just turns into gold. The instruments, the chorus, the vocals, oh man, the vocals are so good. Isn't it great? Isn't it awesome? As the sands of time flow forever, my one hope is that this song plays alongside it. Let's go on this time trippin' ride forever. Thank you guys so much for watching until the end. It really means a lot to me as I've worked hard to put this together. Please consider supporting me through channel memberships, Patreon, or even by leaving a like. Every little bit helps and I'll continue to pour my heart into these projects. Once again, thank you all so much.
Video has reached completion. See you next time.